Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool, and we are with the chapter tissues. So under tissues, we completed the plant tissues, we started with animal tissues where we have already completed epithelial tissue and the most important one, the connective tissue, isn't it? And today, let us talk about one more important tissue, that is muscular tissue, or it is also called as muscle tissue. Clear? Fine. So what is the use of muscular tissue, guys? So what is this muscle? Muscular tissue is all about muscles. Can you all tell me, where are the muscles located? What is the use of muscles? Right? See guys, muscles are present under the skin actually. Okay? And you know, the very important role of muscles is the movements. We can lift our hand is because of the muscle. There is something happening inside the hand muscle. That's the reason I can lift my hand. You know, I can write on a board. It's because the muscle is working, guys. Okay, the running, the jumping, you know, every physical activity, every physical movement with the body is due to the presence of muscles. Okay, so muscles are present everywhere, guys, almost. Okay, and these muscles are helpful in the movement. Clear? And the muscles are the one which is actually giving a proper posture to the body. Okay, so in the previous class we studied about the bone, right? And we have a skeleton inside that is giving a structure for a body. Along with the skeleton, along with the bones, these muscles also give structure to a body. Okay, it gives a posture to a body. Clear? So, what are the two important uses of muscle tissue, guys? One is the movements, other one is it gives posture to the body. Clear? And now, let us try to write the points under muscular tissue. Clear? The very first point is, you know, muscular tissue is responsible. It is responsible for what, guys? Responsible for movements. Okay, so every movement is because of the muscle present in a particular area. I can lift my leg is because the muscle present in the leg area. I can lift my hand is because the muscle present in my hand area. You know, so all movements are due to this muscular tissue. Okay, and one more important point is muscles give posture to a body. Okay, posture in the sense a particular structure to a body. Posture to a body, guys. Okay, so these are the two main functions of muscular tissue. Clear? And now, any tissue is definitely made up of cells, isn't it? Say the cells of connective tissue was different in their structure, size and function. Cells of epithelial tissues were different. Okay, similarly, the muscle cells are also very special cells, guys. They are different in their structure. Okay, and you know, the cells of muscular tissue are elongated. They are quite big cells, guys. Okay, compared to the blood cells and the epithelial cells, you know, the cells of muscle tissue is elongated. Okay, they are very long, elongated. Clear? And they are called muscle fibers. They are also called muscle fibers. Okay, remember the word, guys, muscle fibers. Okay, the muscle cell is called muscle fiber. Clear? Say for example, the bone cell was called as osteocytes. Yes or no? In the same way, the muscle cell is called muscle fiber, and the muscle fibers are elongated one. Okay, they are very much special cells. Clear everybody? Fine. And you know, there are 3 types of muscle tissue. Like we had no different types of connective tissue. We had blood was one connective tissue, bone is one connective tissue, adipose tissue is one connective tissue, tendon is a connective tissue. We had different types of connective tissue, isn't it? Similarly, we have different types of muscular tissue, guys. Okay, let us talk about different types of muscular tissue. Muscular tissue. Okay. So what are the different types of muscular tissue? The very first one is, skeletal muscular tissue. Muscular tissue. And it has 2 more names, guys. This skeletal muscular tissue can also be called as striated muscles. Okay, this is one variety. And the second variety is smooth muscular tissue. Smooth muscular tissue. Okay, and this is called unstriated muscles. Unstriated muscles. You will come to know the meaning of striated and unstriated little later. Okay, just try to remember their different names. That's it. And the last and final one is cardiac muscles. Cardiac muscle tissue. Clear? Fine. So these are the different types of muscle tissue. They are present in the different areas inside the body. You know, the skeletal muscle tissue work is different. The smooth muscles will do some other work, and cardiac muscles work is different. And all the 3 are present in the different regions inside the body. Okay, so all of them we are going to discuss in detail. So where are the skeletal muscles present? Why we call this tissue as skeletal muscular tissue? Why it is called striated muscle? You know, everything we will discuss. And here, try to remember one more point, guys. You know, the skeletal muscular tissue, this one, the skeletal muscular tissue is also called as voluntary muscle tissue. Voluntary muscle tissue or voluntary muscles. And the next 2 varieties, that is smooth muscles as well as cardiac muscles, are called involuntary muscles or muscular tissue. Muscles or muscular tissue, anything is fine. Okay, so this is very important to understand, guys. Skeletal muscular tissue is called voluntary muscle tissue. Voluntary in the sense, the things which are there under our control. Say for example, if I want to lift my hand, I can lift. Whenever I want to keep back my hand, I can keep. If I want to walk, I can walk. If I don't want to walk, I can stop. Right? So this walking activity, lifting hand, and movements with respect to the hands and legs are under our thought process control. Okay? They are under the control of our thinking power. Isn't it? If I want to walk, I can walk, otherwise I can stop. Right? So the muscles, these skeletal muscles are under our control. Okay, they are under our will in the sense our thought process. Okay, so such a muscles which work under our control is called voluntary muscle tissue. Okay, so what do you mean by voluntary muscle tissue, guys? These muscles, okay, work under our thinking process. Okay, work under our thinking process. Okay, so whenever you want to work, whenever you want to give work for your hand muscle, then you can give, otherwise you can stop. Say for example, I want to give work for my hand muscle. How I can work with my hand muscle, I can lift, I can write, or whatever it is. Say when I don't want work, I can stop it. It is under our thinking process control. Okay, so such a muscles which work according to you, which work according to your mind or thinking process is called voluntary muscles. Okay, so involuntary muscles is opposite, guys. Okay, these guys are, these muscles are not under our thinking process, not under our thinking process. Okay, see, these muscles are present inside a body, but they won't work under our thinking process control. Okay, they 24/7 full lifetime they keep working. If you do not want them to work also, they work. Okay, it is not under your control. Say for example, cardiac muscle. Cardiac muscle is present in the heart. Heart is fully made up of a muscle. That muscle is called cardiac muscle. Say for example, if you don't want your heart to work, can you able to stop? No, right? It's not under your control. Say heart continuously beats 24/7. It keeps working. It has to work. Then only you can stay alive. Otherwise we will die. Isn't it? But imagine, say I don't want my heart to work right now. I want my heartbeat to get stopped. Is it possible? Just by thinking like that, is it possible? Just because you want your heart not to work, will it stop working? Is it under your control? Never, right? It's not under our control, right? So such muscles are called involuntary muscles, guys. Okay, so these muscles are not under our thinking process. Whereas voluntary muscles, muscles of hand, muscles of leg are actually skeletal muscles. So all of them are under your thinking process control. Whenever you want them to work, they will work. If you want them to stop working, they will stop working. Right? So that is the meaning of voluntary muscle tissue and involuntary muscle tissue. Okay, so which is an example for voluntary muscle tissue? Skeletal muscles. Which are the involuntary muscles? Smooth muscles as well as cardiac muscles. Okay, now let us discuss about them in detail one by one. Let us discuss about their structure and what work they do, where are they present, how are they present, everything we discuss. Clear? Coming to skeletal muscles. The name itself says that it has some connection with the skeleton. Skeleton is nothing but bones, network of bones, isn't it? See here, there are certain muscles inside a body. They are present around the bones, guys. They are connected with the bones. Okay, both bone and muscle will work together. Okay, so the muscles that are connected with the bones are called skeletal muscles. Very important point. Clear? Muscles that are connected with bones are called skeletal muscles, guys. Okay, and I already told you they are voluntary muscles. They are voluntary muscles. What do you mean by voluntary muscles? The muscles which work under our thinking process control. If you want them to work, they will work. If you want them to stop working, they will stop working. Okay, say for example, hand muscle. If I want to lift my hand, I can. If I want to stop, I can stop. You know how the lifting process takes place with the hand, how I can lift my hand. You know, there is a muscle here. This muscle is connected with the bone. Okay, both muscle and bone will work together. Only then I can lift and I can put down my hand. Okay, so if I want to write something, so this is the muscle that is working. And here there is a bone also. The muscle, this muscle is connected with the bone, guys. Both of them will work together, right? There must be a sync between muscle and bone. Only then I can write. Okay, so muscles that are connected with the bones are called skeletal muscles. Clear? And these muscles will work under our will, our thinking process. That's the reason they are called voluntary muscles. Okay, and you know one important thing. So what is actually happening inside a muscle to work? That's what we are going to learn now. Okay, so normally muscles have a protein. Okay, protein, and this protein is called contractile protein. Contractile protein. Okay, and these proteins are responsible. They are responsible for contraction and relaxation of muscles. Okay, whenever a contraction and relaxation occurs in a muscle, only then a muscle can work. That's how a muscle actually works. Okay, who is responsible for the contraction and relaxation of muscle? There is a protein, and what is its name? Contractile protein. Okay, clear? So there is a protein here. The muscle cells have a protein. It's called contractile protein. Okay, so this contractile protein contracts and relaxes. Okay, say for example, this is a hand, right? Say this is a hand. Okay, so here you have a bone. Okay, so let me draw a bigger hand. Okay, just let me draw a fatter hand. Okay, so this is the hand and here is a bone, right? And this bone is surrounded with muscle, guys. Okay, so this is a muscular tissue. Muscular tissue contains many muscle cells. Okay, say whenever I want to lift my hand, say my mind is telling me to lift my hand. You know, that point of time what happens, you know, and here you will have a contractile protein. You know, this contractile protein in the muscle is responsible for the contraction in the sense becoming small in size. Okay, so whenever a size of a muscle becomes small, whenever the muscle contracts, you know, then I can lift my hand. Okay, whenever muscle relaxes, you know, whenever muscle's size becomes more, then I can keep back my hand. Okay, so whenever I am lifting my hand, what is actually happening inside the muscle? Muscle is contracting. Who is responsible for the contraction? Contractile protein is responsible. Okay, whenever I am keeping back my hand down, what is actually happening? Muscle's size is becoming more. Okay, muscle is getting relaxed. Okay, so who is responsible for this relaxation, guys? Again, this contractile protein. Okay, so this is how actually muscle will work. Which muscle, guys? Skeletal muscles will work. Okay, so they work by contraction and relaxation. And who is responsible for the contraction and relaxation of skeletal muscle? There is a protein called contractile protein. Okay, so this is how the skeletal muscles work inside a body. Okay, fine. And now let us see how the cells of skeletal muscles look like. Muscles is a tissue. Tissue means you will have so many cells. So how is each cell is looking? Okay, skeletal muscle cell, right? So now we are studying the structure of muscle fiber. Muscle fiber in the sense what, guys? Muscle cell. Muscle cell is also called as muscle fiber. I told you. Okay. So muscle fiber in skeletal muscles. Okay. See, the structure is very simple, guys. The muscle cells are cylindrical here. Okay, cylindrical. Each and every cell is what? Cylindrical. These points you have to remember. Okay, so the muscle cell is cylindrical and these cells will have, you know, dark and light bands, guys. Okay, so the muscle cells contain dark and light bands. Okay, light bands. These are called striations. These are called striations. Striations in the sense stripes. You will have stripes in the muscle cell, guys. Say for example, this is one band, dark color band. Okay, and this is a light color band. Again a dark color band you will have. Again a light color band. Again a dark color band, light color band. You see, stripes are there in the muscles. That's the reason this particular muscles are also called as striated muscles. Striated muscles. Yes or no? Because of this striations. What do you mean by striations? Dark and light bands are called striations. Okay. And one more thing, the cells are multinucleated. Multinucleated. What do you mean by multinucleated? Many nuclei. Cells contain many nuclei. Okay. So this is one cell, guys, but it has so many nuclei. This is one nuclei. This is one nuclei. This is how many nuclei are present in a cell. That's the reason this particular muscle fiber, skeletal muscle fiber, is multinucleated. Okay, so this is how the skeletal muscle fiber looks like. It has striations. Striations in the sense stripes. One dark color band you will have, one light color band. Again a dark band, light band. Like that you will find stripes and bands. That's the reason it is called striated muscle tissue. Clear? So this is the structure of skeletal muscle tissue. And what is its function, guys? Its function is to give a voluntary movements. Okay, so what is the function here? Function in the sense what job this skeletal muscle tissue will do? Helpful in voluntary movements. Helpful in voluntary movements. Okay, voluntary movements in the sense the movements which are under our thinking process control. Say if I want to lift my hand, I can lift. If I want to run, I can run. If I want to jog, I can jog. All these movements are voluntary movements, means they are under my control. If I want, I can. If I want to stop, I can stop those movements, right? So all these muscles will be helpful in voluntary movements. Okay, and where are they present? Where and all bone is there you will find the skeletal muscle tissue. Okay, because these muscles are always connected with bones, guys. Clear, everybody? So this is all about skeletal muscle tissue. Now we will discuss about smooth muscles. And where are they present? They are present in the iris of the eye. Okay, so let me first list out their location. Okay, they are present in first one, iris of the eye. What do you mean by iris of the eye, guys? That black color ball which you have inside the eye, that is called iris. Okay, so in that you have a muscle, and which muscle you have? Smooth muscle tissue you have. Clear? And it is present in the alimentary canal. Okay, that is esophagus. In an alimentary canal, you have something called esophagus. What is this esophagus, guys? It is a food pipe. Clear? So you take food from the mouth, and where it will go? It will go to esophagus. Right? From esophagus, the food goes to stomach. Clear? So esophagus is a food pipe that is present between your neck area and your stomach area. So that esophagus is made up of smooth muscle tissue. And also it is present in trachea, bronchi. Okay, what do you mean by trachea? Trachea is windpipe. Windpipe. You know what? All these organs are very much delicate organs, guys. They are very much delicate. See, in the delicate organs, you have these smooth muscles. Clear, everybody? Fine. So what is the function of smooth muscle? So what work will it do, guys? It controls. Okay, it controls. Or smooth muscles, it helps in involuntary movements. Involuntary movements. Okay, so what do you mean by involuntary movements? Movements that happen on its own. Okay, that means these movements are not under our thinking process. Okay, say iris, that black color ball which is there in the eye, it keeps on its own. Okay, even when you are sleeping, you can observe that eyeball keeps moving sometimes. If you want to stop the movement, can you be able to stop, guys? No, right? And the food is going in a food pipe. Okay, and say you want to stop the food going in a alimentary canal, food going in a food pipe. Can you be able to stop? So that is the moment it should occur on its own. It should happen automatically. It should not get stopped. Even if you want to stop it or control it, you can't do, because it is not under your thinking process control. Okay, so such movements are due to the presence of smooth muscles. Okay, so smooth muscles control such movements. Smooth muscles help in those movements. Those movements are very much necessary for the life. Say the wind, the oxygen is going in a wind pipe. It should go. The wind pipe is made up of smooth muscles, guys. Got to know? So if smooth muscles are responsible for the passage of the wind in a wind pipe. If you want to stop the passage of wind in a wind pipe, can you be able to do it? Never, isn't it? So such movements, involuntary movements can be done, can occur with the help of smooth muscles. Clear? And now let us see the structure of smooth muscles. Structure of smooth muscles. Okay, say they have, even their cells are elongated, but you know they have pointed ends. Okay, list out the points. They have pointed ends. Okay, ends. Surface is smooth. Surface is smooth, guys. Okay, that's the reason they are called smooth muscles. And no striations. You got to know what do you mean by striations, isn't it? They are the alternative dark and light bands. If present, they are called striations. So such bands are not there, right? And it is uninucleated. Only one nucleus is present in one cell. This is one muscle fiber, smooth muscle fiber, where you have only one nucleus. Okay, so this is how the smooth muscle fiber, that means smooth muscle cell, looks like. So many cells are present together. This is one muscle fiber. This is another smooth muscle fiber. Okay, this is another smooth muscle fiber. So many smooth muscle fibers combine together and forms a tissue that only we will call smooth muscles or smooth muscle tissue. Isn't it? So where and all it is present? Present in the iris of the eye, present in food pipe, that is esophagus, present in trachea, that is windpipe, bronchi, again they are the branches leading to the lungs actually. Okay, so the windpipe is there, no? Say if this is a trachea, windpipe is again divided into branches. These branches are opened up into a lungs, guys. Okay, so these are called bronchi actually. Right, just like a windpipe, they carry wind to the lungs. Okay, whatever oxygen we take, no, that actually goes to the lungs. How does it go to lung? Trachea. Again, trachea is divided into pipes called bronchi. You know, so all these delicate pipes are made up of with smooth muscle tissue because it helps in the control of involuntary movements. Yes, fine. And the next type of muscle tissue, that is cardiac muscles. Okay, very important. I'm discussing about the third type of a muscle, guys. That is cardiac muscle. You know, where are they present? They are only present in heart. In heart. Okay, only present. They are nowhere in the body. The heart is entirely made up of cardiac muscle. Okay, so cardiac muscle helps in the rhythmic contraction and relaxation. Contraction and relaxation. Okay, say whenever heart continuously contracts and relaxes, that's how it can pump the blood. Okay, so what is the duty of a heart, guys? It has to send the blood outside. Okay, it should pump the blood to all parts of a body. This is the guy which sends blood to all parts of the body. To send a blood, you know, just it pumps actually. How does it pump? By the contraction and relaxation. How is the heart contracting and relaxing? It is because the heart is made up of cardiac muscle. Okay, so this cardiac muscle is responsible for rhythmic contraction and relaxation throughout the life. Okay, right? And this is also involuntary action. This contraction and relaxation of cardiac muscle in the heart is not under our thinking process control. It also 24/7 happens throughout the life. It should happen, otherwise we will not have any life, isn't it? So that is the duty of cardiac muscle, and this is present only in the heart, remember, guys. Okay, and coming to the structure, you know, here the cells are cylindrical and branched, guys. Okay, so this is one cell with a nucleus, this is another cell with a nucleus. Okay, so cells are cylindrical and branched. You can see a branch, right? One cell is connected to another cell with the help of a branch. Okay, like this you will have branches between the cell. I'm drawing another cell. This is another cell. And the cells are uninucleated. Each cell has only one nucleus. Okay, see, they are cylindrical, branched and uninucleated. They have only one nucleus. So where are they present? Present in heart. What do? They help in the rhythmic contraction and relaxation. So that if that contraction and relaxation happens only, the heart can pump the blood. It can send the blood to all parts of the body. Okay, so that's all about the three different types of muscular tissue. Right? The first one was skeletal tissue, where it is present connected to the bones, responsible for the movements of hands and legs. Right? And the next one is smooth muscles, present in these parts, helpful in controlling the movements of those parts. Okay? And cardiac muscle, present only in the heart, helpful for the movement of heart, for the contraction and relaxation of heart, to pump the blood to all parts of the body. Okay, and try to remember their structure also. Okay, so with this I will complete the muscular tissue. In my next class, let us talk about the last animal tissue, that is the nervous tissue. Till then, keep revising the chapter, and if you like our video, please like, share and subscribe our channel to learn the concept in a detailed way and in an easiest way. Thank you.